What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 6 of my dumb little wrestling podcast. We have a little silly, goofy, just kind of weird topic for today's podcast. We got the event Taboo Tuesday 2004, recently Cultaholic, the lovely lads at Cultaholic. They released a video about the 10 lowest attended WWE pay-per-views, like the worst attendances, and I watched it out of curiosity. I'm like, yeah, let's see what that's all about. And number one on that list was 2004's Taboo Tuesday. There was like 3,500 people. Pretty small for a WWE pay-per-view. And just like the first, when they first opened the show and the cameras going around the crowd, you could see a bunch of like empty blobs, especially like towards the floor area near the corner. I noticed. I was like, dang, okay, I didn't think it would come off that like empty on TV. But yeah, I can see. But I don't care about attendance. If the show's good, the show's good. If it's not, it's not. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Was Taboo Tuesday 2004 good? A lot of people missed out to be there live in person. So did they miss out on a lot? Or was it like, oh yeah, good you didn't spend, whatever, 75 to like a few $100 on a ticket. You just watched it on pay-per-view. Which it's weird that it was on a Tuesday. You wouldn't think a pay-per-view would be on a Tuesday. But that's what they did. Before we get started, I just want to say, I appreciate all the recent support, obviously. I know I've been saying that the past few weeks on the podcast, but I appreciate all the views and all the new subs. And, if you're new to the channel, hey, how's it going? My name's Nick, if you couldn't tell. But now you know. And this Sunday is NXT's Great American Bash. I've noted it a couple times. I think I just noted it like maybe once. But I am going to be at the show. So, if I record some videos, some little live reactions and whatnot, I'll probably post them. The show's on Sunday, so I'll probably post on Monday, and I'm going to the Raw before SummerSlam the very next day, so maybe Tuesday, you'll get some Raw videos. I don't know. My phone quality is terrible, and me and my friend's seats for Raw are like in the cheap seats, just because go home show for SummerSlam. Well, besides SmackDown, so we said why not? Let's just go. Better than sitting at the house. So if I get some good stuff, or if I just feel like posting it. Expect some live in-person videos from Great American Bash and Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam 2023, but let's kick it off. It's not 2023 right now. We're going back to 2004, baby. 2004. The kickoff right away. The show stages for Taboo Tuesday and Cyber Sunday, I always like them. The giant keyboard on the stage. I believe Cyber Sunday had like a giant like cell phone. But yeah, I like how cool this. I like the big keyboard. I wish they would bring it back if they ever do bring back an event like this. But we have Jonathan Coachman. He's in the control center, and he announces that people can vote on what the Divas will be wearing in a battle royal for Trish Stratus's women's championship, and they call it a Fulfill Your Fantasies battle royal. And cool. You can vote between nurses, French maids, or schoolgirls, of course. And first vote of the night goes to schoolgirls. That's what the battle royal is going to be later on. So off to a great start already. But now the first match of the show, first championship match as well. We have Chris Jericho. He's going to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Shelton Benjamin, who got the most votes out of people like Batista, William Regal, Christian, Hurricane, Rodney Mack, Tyson Tomko, Tajiri was there. And yeah, Rosie as well. There's probably a couple other people. That's an interesting collection of names. But yeah, Shelton Benjamin got the loudest reaction from the fans in the arena, and he got the most votes. So good for Shelton Benjamin. The match started off a bit slow, but it, about halfway through it picked up. Benjamin hit a nice top rope clothesline. Jericho hit a pretty far Lionsault. He got some distance on that thing. The match ends. There wasn't really too much happening in this match, so, at the end we see Benjamin Irish whipping Jericho into the corner, but he hops on that second rope. He jumps for a move, but gets caught with a T-bone suplex, and a 1-2-3 Shelton Benjamin wins the Intercontinental title, and a pretty shocking win. I did not think on a show where fans would be voting for what's going on that we'd see very many, if any at all, title changes, but it was cool to kick off the show with the title change. Shelton Benjamin getting a big moment. It's nice to see him get a nice moment like that. Jericho did the bit where he takes the title away from Shelton, and he's like, here, I'm handing it to you myself because respect and whatnot. But it was a nice moment. Good for Shelton. He gets his wins where he can. And now we have Todd Grisham. He interviews 3 of the candidates to challenge or that could be voted on to challenge Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Edge, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels. And Coach reveals the winner, and it's Shawn Michaels. And, it was a pretty close vote between all three. I think, Edge was only 8% away from winning or something like that. So we're getting a possibly injured Shawn Michaels versus Triple H later that night. There's a lot of speculation about Shawn Michaels' injury throughout the night between Edge and Triple H, as we'll see in interviews later on. But we got Jerry Lawler. He says on commentary, this means Benoit and Edge will be teaming up later to challenge La Resistance for the tag title. So, hey, there you go. That's something. Consolation prize, I guess. Edge actually calls the tag titles a consolation prize in an interview later on. But now it's time for the Fulfill Your Fantasies Battle Royal. Trish's Women's Championship on the line, and, it's exactly what you would think it would be. They each come down the ring. Jazz rips off the sleeves of her schoolgirl outfit, which I thought was a nice little touch, understandable. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Jerry Lawler, at least back then, and probably still depending on what's going on today, Jerry Lawler on commentary for women's matches is just... I can't listen to that man, bro. I can't. I tune him out as best as I can. It gets on my nerves. But the final four, we have Trish Stratus, Victoria, Molly Holly, and Stacy Keibler. Victoria gets eliminated. Then Molly Holly and Trish Stratus, they start the double team. Stacy. Trish gets sent through the ropes. Remember back in the old Diva days, you didn't have to go over the top rope to be eliminated from a battle royal. If you were, in a Divas battle royal, you just got to kick under the rope, through the ropes, whatever. So Trish gets sent out the ring, but she hangs on. She does not fall off just yet. Molly Holly eliminates Stacy Keibler, and while she's celebrating, Trish Stratus comes from behind, shoves her through the ropes, retains her women's championship. There you go. 100% satisfaction. And that's, not much to say. Good for Trish for getting that win. And we're going to move on. But I wish we didn't have to move on, because, oh my god, up next, we have Kane versus Snitsky in either a lead pipe, steel chair, or chain match. And the worldwide internet audience picked the chain as the weapon of choice. This match is a part of the whole Lita miscarriage storyline, Snitsky shoves Kane in the Lita. Lita loses her baby boy. It wasn't my fault, that whole thing. And just... move out of the way, Bloodline storyline. We got a contender for best storyline in all of wrestling history right here. What are we talking about? We talking about how good the Bloodline stuff is, all the Roman Reigns stuff is. Where's the love for the Snitsky Kane Lita storyline? Come on, guys, let's go. God, why is this a thing, man? Why did they do this? Why did they do this? Okay, well, anyways, the chain wins. That's the weapon of choice. Lita comes down to the ring with her husband Kane. Yet remember, they were married. The chain sure does get used in the match. They wrap it around their fists. They kind of clothesline each other with it. They choke each other with it. There's not really all too much you could do with the chain besides wrap it around things and kind of, whip it at things and hit people with it. That's, but yeah, throughout pretty much almost all the match, Snitsky has the upper hand. And they end up hitting each other with a double big boot, connects right to each other's faces. Kane sits up. He sits up twice in this match. I thought that was a one-time special, but Kane did it twice. That's when he's pissed. Snitsky goes for the chain, but Lita pulls it out of the ring, and Kane sends that big boy over the top rope. Kane goes to the outside, grabs a chain, doesn't get to do anything with it because Snitsky shoves the steel steps into the big man's knees. Snitsky then grabs a chair, and he hits Kane in the shoulder or the neck a bunch of times. Then he wraps the chair around Kane's neck, jumps off the second rope, stomps on the chair, and crushes Kane's throat. He is coughing up blood. And then Snitsky walks away. The referee's calling for, medical help or whatever. And then, maybe 30 seconds go by. Snitsky comes back in the ring, then covers Kane 1, 2, 3, because I guess maybe he had second thoughts. I don't know. I don't know, man. It was a match. It was a very odd match. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was a chain match, but he won using the chair as the main weapon in the end. The ref could have disqualified him, right? Right? You're allowed to use a chair. I mean, not a chair, a chain. I guess in a tables match, you're allowed to use chairs and other stuff. No one gets DQ'd for that. But, if you think if it's a... Oh, well, now... Okay, that kind of just defeats all my other logic I was about to bring up. Like, because a ladder matches, people use chairs. Tables matches, like I said, people use chairs. So I guess maybe it's not that big a deal, but it's like, what's the point? Why didn't you just... I don't know, they could have done this after the match, or just done it with the chain alone, like, choke them out. Like, we've seen it in AEW recently, where, like, people are getting, like, hanged and hardcore choked out by, like, chains and stuff. But, whatever. The chair, was used. Kane's coughing up blood. Snitsky gets the win. He's getting wheeled up the entrance ramp on the stretcher, and Snitsky comes back out. Right as I was, like, typing up all the notes, I was like, this match was a waste of time. I didn't care for it at all. It's like 15 minutes, I'll never get back. Snitsky comes running out, to my surprise. I didn't think he would come back out. I thought we were going to get a really serious moment with Kane being like, oh god, I'm hurt, and Lita's going like, oh no, he's hurt. But Snitsky just shoves that man off the stretcher, and Kane falls, like, towards Snitsky. He doesn't even, like, fall with the stretcher. He, like, falls inward and lands on his face. That's a yikes moment, but it's just, I don't know. That was a bit silly. It was not intended to be silly whatsoever. I just thought it was funny. Maybe that's just me. But we're going to move on. We have another backstage interview. Whoa. We have Edge, and he's not happy that he didn't win that vote. He wants to face Triple H for the world title. He knows Shawn Michaels can't do it. He would have been able to do it. So yeah, Edge is a very upset Canadian man. But we're going to move on to another match that was just a waste of time and I did not care for. It was more of an angle or like a segment more than a match. But it's Eric Bischoff versus his nephew, Eugene. We all remember Eugene, right? Yeah. But the loser of this match will have to do something embarrassing. Ooh, what will it be? And it's just... It's not a good match. Eric Bischoff does this, like, martial arts kick. He kicks Eugene a bunch. Eugene starts to Hulk up. And then he beats him with a leg drop. And that's it. The match was, like, 3 minutes. The fans voted for the loser. Their punishment was to be shaven bald. Oh no, you're gonna be bald, Eric. But Jonathan Coachman tries to get a different punishment for Eric. He comes down to the ring. He's like, oh no, the people here, they want you to wear a dress, Eric. Or, oh no, you want to be Eugene's servant. That's what we want. Ah, well, guess we can't come to a conclusion. Coach is just terrible. I mean, he seems like a nice guy, and he's good at being like a cocky, like annoying little pest. But damn, I just can't listen to that man for that long. When he's like healing it up like that, it's corny and I don't like it at all. But out comes Vince McMahon. Oh no. What's Vince McMahon gonna do? He's heard enough. He says Eric's gonna be shaven bald or he's fired. And Bischoff finally, after like a couple minutes, he walks up the ramp. He goes back, he walks away again, and he goes back to the chair. He finally sits down in the barber's chair, and Eugene starts shaving his head. Oh, there we go. And that's not where the punishment stops. No, Mr. McMahon is like, hey, coach, you trying to pull a little stunt like that? See this dress right here? Strip down and put on this dress. Yeah. You take off your shirt and your pants. You put on the dress. He calls him a slut for not buttoning up the dress, which got a little bit of a chuckle out of me because it came out of nowhere. And then, as his hair is being shaved away, Vince noticed there's some gray on Eric Bischoff's head. Oh no. He's like, Eric, do you dye your hair? And Eric's like, yeah, so what? And Vince just walks away. He goes, you're a phony bitch. It's like, or a phony son of a bitch or whatever. That was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. I was just, whatever. It was kind of funny seeing Coach run up back to like the control center area in that dress. And it was a bit funny with the whole, you phony son of a bitch. But like, it dragged on for way too long. The result wasn't worth seeing the Eric versus Eugene match and sitting through the whole Coach shenanigans stuff. I mean, the two little funny moments I got a slight chuckle out of me were not worth the whatever 20 minutes this whole thing felt like it lasted. I even fast forwarded, like skipped every now and then when it kind of just got meh. And it still felt too long, so what are you gonna do, I guess. But now we have La Resistance. They come out to sing the Canadian national anthem, I think. I skipped through this because that's their whole shtick. I know what they're gonna do. But I was already like, oh god. I had to sit through that Kane thing. I had to sit through that Eric Bischoff thing. and it's like midnight, and I want to record this to get this out of the way and make the thumbnail, make the background image that you're seeing on screen. Don't I do a lovely job at that? I think I do okay. Anyways, clears throat. We have Chris Benoit and Edge, who are also from Canada, so that's probably why they didn't interrupt the Canadian national anthem. And, are Lars and Sons? Oh, they're French. Wait. Oh, shit. Wait. Is that the Canadian national anthem? Yeah, they go, oh, Canada, right? I skipped through it. Like I said, I just came to a realization that I might have been effing this whole thing up. We're gonna roll with it. Correct me if I'm stupid. I'm probably stupid. They're French-Canadian, right? Is that why? Because they got, like, that little symbol on their, like, knee pads, right? I'm gonna look this up. I never do research during the podcast. La Resistance. Yeah, WWE. They're Frenchmen. Oh no, we're both actually French Canadians. Aha! Wait, what were they? Oh, they're Paris, France, the province of Quebec. So they're like both. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's La Resistance. We don't care. No offense, La Resistance. You're quite lovely lads. But it was a pretty competitive tag match between the two teams. You know, Benoit and Edge obviously aren't, the best of friends or nothing. While Benoit's getting beat down, Edge walks out on his partner after getting frustrated with the referee. He went to go make a tag to Benoit. Referee didn't see it, so he's like, Edge, get the heck back on that apron, buddy. And he goes, I'm not your buddy, pal. And Edge walks away, asks for his bag backstage. He gets in the car and he dips. And Benoit's like, well, shit. But Benoit does not show any signs of giving up, and he actually starts making a bit of a comeback. He hits a few German suplexes and locks in the crippler crossface, and he wins the tag titles all by himself. So, pretty neat. Creative end to that tag match. It got Edge and Benoit doing something since they didn't win that little vote. So, it's fine. It's all decent stuff. It wasn't a waste of time. I'm going to be real. After the two segments that felt like a waste of my time, I was browsing Twitter. I was already getting a bit bored. But I stuck with it, and I'm glad that the ending was at least creative. So, yeah. And it seemed like a very competitive tag match. So, props to them. And now we have another, you guessed it, backstage interview. Backstage interview time. Triple H, the World Heavyweight Champion, says Shawn Michaels being injured is crap. And if his leg isn't broken, it's gonna be tonight. Oh boy. Shawn Michaels on Raw suffered a bit of a knee/leg injury in a match with, I think it was Chris Benoit. They showed a little, replay or whatever. And, so, is he injured? Jerry Lawler's like, oh, he's faking it. JR's like, Jerry, you're a bitch. Shut up. Like, he snaps at him in that match. I forgot exactly what he said, but, yeah. So now we have another women's match. We have the two finalists of the Divas Search. We have Christy versus Carmella. No, not that Carmella. Yeah, obviously. But, the fans voted for these two to have a lingerie pillow fight match. Wow, yippee! They get changed inside of these, giant cubicles, these giant cubes on the stage, and they have their air quotes match, and the ring is just filled with feathers from all the pillows. Christy smacks Carmella in the face a bunch of times with the pillow and pins her 1, 2, 3. No comments. That's I really have nothing to add after that. So there you go. Time for Triple H versus a possibly injured Shawn Michaels. I thought this was going to be the main event. I completely forgot that this was the pay-per-view that had Orton and Ric Flair in the cage. So I was like, dang, all right, Shawn Michaels, Triple H main event, should put on a banger. But no, it's not the main event. It's the match right before the main event. World Heavyweight title's on the line. HBK is actually injured. There's no, psych out, I was faking it all along. So, yeah, Shawn Michaels is really protective of that leg. He is fighting in the corner. He's leaning against the ropes. He is throwing some punches at Triple H, and he's fighting him off. But it is not long before Triple H attacks and gets a hit on that injured leg, and he is just attacking that thing for the next 5 minutes. He locks in the figure 4 later on, and he is sitting in that hold. Michaels is sitting in that figure 4 for a long time. He is begging the referee not to ring the bell. Triple H is like, ask him, just ring it, man. You want me to break his leg, dude? Okay, I'm gonna do it. But Shawn Michaels finally reaches the rope. Triple H is like, all right, we'll go again. He goes to do some damage on the outside. But Shawn Michaels pulls Triple H with his legs into the steel post. Noggin knocker right there. Triple H knocked a bit loopy. But yeah, so back into the ring. HBK slowly starts to regain some momentum. He's fighting back a little bit more, but that leg is just taking a toll on him. Triple H is about to go for a pedigree, and out of frustration or anger, I guess the referee's kind of just been getting on his case the whole match. He shoves the referee, and the ref just has like a really like an angry face. He's looking at the camera, like the timekeeper's area. He's like, "Oh, you see what he just did to me?" But while he's kind of like pissed off looking away, Shawn's able to hit a low blow on the game, and I believe he DDTs him, gets to the corner, or not the corner, well, basically the corner, but he climbs to the top, and even with that injured leg, he hits the elbow, and it takes a toll on his knee or his leg or whatever is injured. But, offensive maneuver is an offensive maneuver, so he gets up, he's tuning up the band for Sweet Chin Music. It's a miracle he's about to do it with a nearly broken leg. But in comes Batista running down to the ring. Shawn Michaels, he gets rid of Batista, shoves him off the apron. But out of nowhere, a wild Edge appears. But right before that, I missed. I think, Shawn hits him with the Sweet Chin Music, knocks Triple H down. Batista is trying to get back up on the apron, so the referee's like, "Hey, Batista, you're not part of this match, buddy. Go away." But yeah, Edge is in the ring. He left but came back. Edge spears Shawn Michaels. He runs through the fans. He says, "It should have been me. It should have been me." He's all jealous. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich right there. Triple H slowly covers Shawn Michaels. 1, 2, 3, retaining the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they've had better matches, sure. This match was a bit slow, but it was really more about the story of HBK's leg and leading up to the Edge costing him the match. And it wasn't the main event. It didn't close out the show, so I can't be too upset with the finish. It was okay. Edge coming back to the arena just to cost Shawn the match was cool, I guess. And, overall, it was just, a fine match. Nothing too crazy. Just slow, kind of methodical. He is the cerebral assassin, so Triple H is going to play like that. He's going to play the game like that. But now, it's time for the main event. We're breezing through this card. Not much happened. It's more just because even the little matches, I can't go move by move because it's not super interesting, So yeah. But we got the main event. We have the Legend Killer Randy Orton versus the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, and the majority of the fans, they can either vote for a Falls Count Anywhere match, a submission match, or a steel cage. And the majority of the fans vote for a steel cage match. Let's go. We all love that big steel cage. It's lowered down to the ring, and not even 3 minutes in, Ric Flair, dirtiest player in the game, low blows Randy Orton and sends him headfirst into the cage. Randy Orton is busted open. His face is covered in blood. And Ric Flair just keeps dragging and scraping Orton's face across the side of the cage, up and down the walls. Ric Flair is like, "Hell, I'm Ric Flair. I should be bleeding too." So when Orton slams Flair's head into the cage multiple times, Ric Flair starts bleeding. He's just punching the shit out of Flair in this match, bro. They look stiff too. But Ric Flair gets to the corner. He tries to climb out. Orton nearly pulls down Flair's trunks. You see all that freaking 50-year-old man ass just hanging out there, and he is bashing Ric Flair's head into the top of the cage. Orton has something against this man, bro. He wants to concuss. He wants to rip that skin just off his head, man. His match is brutal, bro. I'm telling you. But yeah, Flair ends up getting another low blow on Orton, but it doesn't really keep Orton down for too long. It doesn't take long for Orton to be back on top of Flair, throwing some more punches. Ric Flair tries to escape again, but Orton, he keeps sending him back down to the mat. Ric Flair is desperate. Flair hits 2 nasty chops, a nice couple of stiff chops to Orton, and this time he tries the door, and it doesn't work out well. Orton drags him back in. Flair, though, he pulls out some brass knucks from his shorts, from his trunks, hits Orton in the head. He nails him with the brass knuckles. Randy Orton covered 1, 2, and barely Orton kicks out at 2.5. Ric Flair is going through it, man. He's like, "Whoa, okay." For a bit, I wasn't totally convinced Orton was going to lose right there, but there's a part of me that's like, "Oh yeah, Orton might just straight up lose right here after the brass knuckles." I could see it going like that, but it's the end of your pay-per-view. You got to end it with a bang. So Orton's not going to lose to some little brass knuckles. So yeah, Ric Flair tries to go through the door once again, but Orton grabs his leg and he's dragging. He is like pulling on Ric Flair's leg. Flair's dripping blood all over a steel chair on the outside, and he's like yelling like, "Ah, damn it, my leg!" Ah, like he is a few times in this match. Ric Flair is screaming in pain. Like I thought I was watching like a Saw movie. Like the screams, like of torture coming from Ric Flair, dude. This guy. But Orton drags Ric Flair back into the ring, but that chair I was talking about earlier comes with Ric Flair. Ric Flair goes for a shot, but unfortunately, he misses the chair shot, and the Nature Boy gets hit with an RKO. Randy Orton defeats Ric Flair, and once Flair gets up after the match is over, he gets to his feet. He's barely able to stand up, but he's doing it, and the two shake hands, and they are both a bloody, bloody mess. A very solid steel cage match. Nothing too flashy, like this wasn't gonna be Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, doing all sorts of crazy shit. This wasn't gonna be what's another banger steel cage match? I don't want to do another AEW one, but Moxley and Omega, that was a good one. Insert other steel. I guess JBL Big Show, that crazy steel cage match back in like 2004 or whatever it was. Yeah. That was, It was simple, but, that's all it needed to be. It was brutal. Nothing flashy, like I was saying. Not even that many moves, like variety. It was mainly just, I'm gonna bash your head in this cage. They really use that cage as a weapon. Like, they always hype it up like, oh, this cage is almost like a third participant. It can be used as a weapon and is very dangerous. These guys were like, alright, yeah, bet. We will make this cage dangerous. Yeah, they really use the cage walls as a weapon, and it's kind of a less is more kind of deal, Wasn't too much going on variety-wise, but everything they were doing felt a bit impactful. You saw how worn out these two guys were, you saw how bloody they were, and just like, just how worn out Ric Flair was especially. But it was a nice match. Huge win for Randy Orton. This was still like just 2 years into his debut. I believe he debuted like summer or spring 2002. This was like, I want to say November-ish 2004. I know it was in 2004, obviously. But yeah, not even a full 3 years in the company. It's a big win for him. Starting that whole legend killer thing. And they showed sign of respect at the end by shaking hands. And that was nice to see end the show. So there you have it. Just like not even 30 minutes into the podcast. I'm recording this way later than I usually do. I usually record it around like 10 p.m. or whatever, 9 p.m. And it is now currently 1:40 a.m. I got a bit of a late start. But yeah, overall, I'd say this show was pretty much bang average. Everything on here could have been seen on an episode of Raw, a main event of Raw type of thing. But the concept is cool, and hey, they tried it a few more times. Another Taboo Tuesday, then I think they did like 2 or 3 Cyber Sundays. So, it wasn't like a failed attempt or nothing. So yeah, and I would love to see it make a return. Cyber Sunday, almost everybody's on social media, and imagine all the wacky ass matches and stipulations people would choose on Twitter if they did like some kind of Twitter poll thing. I'm assuming they would base it off of like WWE.com, and you had to vote on there. But I think Twitter would be if they ever get sponsored by Twitter or X as it's going to be called or whatever. That's stupid. This is a wrestling podcast. We're not going to talk about that. God, that's so stupid. Y'all see that? Y'all use Twitter? Y'all see that dumbass logo? That dumbass X? I clicked it a couple times thinking it would close out the damn screen, but I'm an idiot. But I saw some other people joking about it too, so I don't feel as much of an idiot. But yeah, but imagine all the crazy votes and like matches we'd get if they ran Cyber Sunday back. And I guess you could say the golden age of social media. So I think they should bring it back 100%. They do it, or they used to do it back like in 2014, 2013, 2012. They'd have people like vote almost every episode. There'd be like at least one match on the show where people would vote for like opponents or a stipulation or whatever. So I'd say bring it back every now and then. I don't know when's the last time there was like a fan voted thing in like AEW or WWE. I think AEW could run a show with that concept. I feel like AEW, it would work out better for them, since if the fans did vote something goofy, I feel like they can make it work WWE would probably be like, "Ah, you're trying to ruin our gosh darn show, brother." But yeah, I'd say the highlight of the night for sure was probably that steel cage match. Brutal, bloody. Ric Flair and Orton, two of the best, put on a damn good match. The Diva stuff, it is what it is. There's not really much to say about that. Then there was Eugene and Eric Bischoff that felt like a bit of a waste of time. Not really worth it. Shelton winning the IC title and Benoit winning the tag titles by himself. Two little cool moments, nothing too crazy, but also, I'm glad Shelton got a good moment for himself, and Benoit winning the tag titles by himself was interesting. It was like, okay, I see where you're going with this. Edge wasn't there. He did it by himself. What's going to happen next week kind of thing. Cool little moments. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, their match wasn't terrible, but, it was more about the finish and more about the whole story surrounding Shawn's leg. It wasn't like, Shawn's going to do it, is he? It's like, no, he's just walking around injured the whole match, but hey, we'll see what happens. But I liked the finish. I thought, like, okay, wow. Which is shocking, probably. A Triple H finish to go like that probably happened a hell of a lot back then. But I thought it was creative enough to where I wasn't disappointed. Plus, it wasn't the main event, so it's not like they sent the fans home with that. We got that cool steel cage match. But, and then probably maybe not the worst thing, but, like, definitely one of the more, I just wish maybe I didn't see it, was the Kane and Snitsky match. Just, it wasn't it. I didn't care for it. I'll never get that time back. There wasn't anything redeemable about it except that funny little bit at the end where Snitsky just ran out of nowhere and shoved Kane off the stretcher. I thought that was slightly funny. But other than that, there's nothing crazy. But hey, there you have it. 30 minutes. So what'd you think of Taboo Tuesday 2004? Did you watch it? Have you never seen it and you're going to check it out now? Or you're like, I'll take your word for it. It seemed like a meh show. I'll skip it. I know a lot of people live, they skipped it. They didn't show up. But hey, regardless, like I said earlier, fan attendance doesn't really matter to me. If it's a good show, if it's a good show. If it's a bad show, it's a bad show. This was pretty much bang average with a lot of like, I don't like that. If I had to give it like a score, say like a 4.5 out of 10. Because you had the great steel cage match. And then you had Benoit winning the tag titles. That was kind of cool. Shelton. Kind of basic, but still kind of cool. I'd say 4.5 out of 10, 5 out of 10. If that steel cage match was not on there, it'd be like a solid like 3. But there you go. There's Taboo Tuesday 2004 in the books. Since I have a bit of extra time on my hands, what's coming out this week? I've had like so many video ideas like scrapped. Like I've written down like, all right, here's what I'm gonna try to do for this Friday, and I'm like, oh wait, that's not gonna work, or oh, that's a lot of work, I don't think I'll get it out in time, I'll have to push it for a later date. But yeah, since Sunday is Great American Bash and I will be going there, I thought, hell, I haven't been keeping up with NXT. I just started watching NXT like week by week, maybe a couple weeks ago, like after I got the tickets. I'm like, I guess I should keep up with what's going on. Like I always like know what's happening, I just don't keep up with it or actually watch it. But, I watched it tonight, or technically last night. It should be a good show, should be a lot of fun matches. I'm excited for Wesley, Dominic Mysterio, and Mustafa Ali's triple threat. That should be fun. Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes should be a banger of a match. I'm low-key hoping Dragunov gets the win, even though Carmelo probably should hold that title for a bit longer, but I would really like to see Dragunov win it. I think he deserves it, especially after that brutal ass match with Dijak at Battleground. I think Ilya Dragunov could win that title. I would not be disappointed whatsoever. So, yeah, also Thea Hale, I would love to see her win that women's championship, even though, same thing, like I said, for Carmelo, I think Tiffany Stratton should hold on to that title a bit longer, but I love Thea Hale so much. She's so much fun to watch. I'm pulling for her to win that submission match at Great American Bash. Yeah, I can't wait to see Chase U live and in person. They're like my favorite act in NXT right now. I love Duke Hudson. I love Andre Chase. The whole package. But yeah, hopefully the videos aren't terrible that I get from Great American Bash. Like I said, my phone quality ain't the best. I've posted some videos from AEW shows I've gone to and Money in the Bank and SmackDown. and they're just the sound is terrible. Like the video quality is okay, the sound is just terrible, man. It sounds like I'm underwater. Like I dropped my phone in like a pool and it's still recording or something. I don't know what the deal is with that, but you know, I have like the Samsung A whatever. I have like the reject line of Samsung Galaxies. They're not even Galaxies. They're just A whatever the hell's. But that's my little rant on my phone. F you, phone. Yeah. But I'm gonna end it here. I would carry on for like maybe another 10 minutes, but I really got nothing else to say. You know, I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't have like a set time limit. I just have a goal, I guess you could say. But this Sunday, oh yeah, I was going over the videos that are coming out. Sunday is another tier list. I'm probably going to stop doing the Sunday tier list because Sunday was originally supposed to be just like a bonus video. That one tier list I did like a couple weeks back, the current champions in AEW and NXT, or not NXT, WWE. But, you know, y'all like the tier list, so I might as well keep pumping them out. If y'all like them, I'm going to keep posting them. But this Sunday's tier list, since I am going to NXT Great American Bash, I'm going to do a tier list of the NXT champions from Seth Rollins to Carmelo Hayes. A bit of it's going to be blurry for me. Like, even though since 2.0 started, it's really only been Ciampa, Ziggler, Braun, and Carmelo. But I am still familiar with what they did in their reigns, so, you know, it's not going to be. Plus, Ciampa had it back in, you know, black and gold days, peak NXT. So, you know, I still know my Ciampa NXT title reign stuff. But yeah, we're going to be looking at NXT champions in a tier list this Sunday. This Friday, I think I can get it out in time, so might as well say it. It was going to be top 10 Great American Bash matches, but that's like 11 WCW pay-per-views and 5 WWE pay-per-views I'd have to watch and look at all the best matches of that and then narrow it down to 10, then write a script, all that crap. So I waited too late to do that. So I'm going to do something that's quicker to make, and it just popped in my head. I already did a tier list of the events from WWE, NXT, and AEW of the half year, you know, 2023 so far. Oh, damn. I have like a burp that's like trying to force itself out, but I'm like, no, that's inappropriate and not gentlemanlike. But speaking of, you know, so far in 2023, I'm going to do top 10 wrestlers of 2023 so far. We're halfway through the year. Who's made the biggest impact? I'm not gonna lie, there's no New Japan or Impact Wrestling guys on there because there's so much wrestling to watch. I can only keep up with like the two big boys, and it wouldn't be fair just to go off the highlights that I see on Twitter or whenever I do watch an Impact show. Since, you know, yeah. So spoiler alert, people like Will Ospreay, and also NXT. Since I just started watching NXT, I can't really judge like. You know, I can't really say Carmelo is one of the best going today. I mean, he is, but is he top 10? I don't know. So guys like Will Ospreay and Carmelo Hayes are gonna be chilling in that honorable mentions category. But just know I still love what they've been doing this year. Will Ospreay, even though I don't watch New Japan all that much, he's had two of the best matches of the year. New Japan Wrestle Kingdom with Kenny Omega, then Forbidden Door, Kenny Omega 2. Two of the best matches of the year. He arguably, just from those two matches alone, he could be like number 9, number 10. But there's some other people I think overall I've seen more of and that I've gotten to, I guess, digest more of what they've done this year so far. So yeah, Friday, top 10 wrestlers of 2023 so far, and Sunday, NXT champions, or every NXT champion tier list. And then Monday, Tuesday, expect some live videos from NXT Great American Bash and Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam. And then Wednesday, we'll be back with the podcast. So all next week, there should be at least something on the channel pretty much every day, except for like a Thursday, unless I post a YouTube short. I need to get on my shorts grind, bro. I need to post some more shorts. But yeah, I will see you all Friday. And, you know, goodbye.